Great, here we go. Welcome to Sky Yoga on another beautiful Wednesday in Denver. I'm pulling out all the stops with my props here. I've got weights, a strap, and a block. And all of those are optional, but if you can grab them at the appropriate time, they might be helpful. So we're gonna do a few standing poses today, but as usual, we'll start with some seated pranayama, intentional breathing. So that's where the weights come in. Anytime you're in a cross-legged position, you can put weights on your knees to help weigh your legs down and stretch your inner thighs just a wee bit more. So with your lower body relaxed and grounded, lifting up your spine, letting your arms, shoulders, elbows relax. And then maybe pulling your neck back or your chin down, whatever helps align your spine the best. Usually looking down toward the floor helps with that too. So just sitting here, relaxing into your seated position. Begin to notice your breath. And now we'll move into the pranayama, the intentional or controlled breathing segment. And you can pick any pranayama you like. I'm going to do box breathing. That's the four-sided breath. So you inhale one side, pause, that's side two, exhale for the third side, and then pause again for the fourth side. So you're breaking down the breath into four bits that come together to form a box. And it can be a rectangle. It doesn't have to be a square. All the pieces don't have to be the same length. My inhale and exhale will be longer and the pause is a little bit shorter. And try to relax your belly and breathe down into your belly as you do this. And maybe what you find as you go through several box breaths is that you may find it does line up and become a square at some point, that it's easier to hold the pause. So now we'll move into cleansing breaths. Inhaling fully into the belly and the rib cage, just inflate your whole torso like a sphere, and then use your ab muscles to expel. Feel your navel curve in towards your spine as you exhale. Excellent. Now we'll start warming up the neck muscles. So drop your chin down. And you can wobble your head side to side or just let it hang. And as you start to feel those muscles loosening up, you can make the movement larger, rolling the chin from shoulder to shoulder. And maybe you get to the point where you feel that you can do a full circle. And maybe you don't, and that's okay too. And if you are doing a full circle, then you can try the other way. Don't be surprised if one way is more difficult than the other. That's perfectly normal. And now we're going to sit up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed down, open your arms wide. Move my block. Open your arms wide, stretch, feel the stretch in your upper arms, wiggle your fingertips, and inhale as you reach up. And exhale, releasing down. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And now this time we'll inhale, come to the top, clasp your hands, turn your palms to the ceiling, and just pause here a moment. Feel your back lengthen. Maybe look to each side. And then we'll actually twist to one side. So dropping a hand to your knee and the other hand behind you. Twisting your whole spine. Breathe. And then on your next inhale, rise back up to center. Fill your lungs and exhale the other way. And come back up to center, reaching high. And then open the arms. Oh, excuse me, goodness. And we'll bring one arm across, fold it in, and stretch. So the long arm is relaxed. And you're using the bent arm to stretch everything up here. Biceps, deltoids. Keeping your torso to the front. So this is not a twist. We're just focusing on stretching the upper arm. And then on your next inhale, open wide again. And exhale the other arm across. On your next inhale, open wide again, and then reach up. We'll drop one hand down between your shoulder blades and pull that elbow back, tricep stretch. Keep breathing. Big, slow, purposeful, intentional breaths. And on the next inhale, reach up and exhale the other hand down, pulling your elbow back in a classic tricep stretch. And I feel my spine pressing forward into a bit of a cow arching feeling. Oh, excuse me, and then reach up one more time, breathing in, and then circle your hands down to your knees or your lap, and we'll make shoulder circles, inhaling up and exhaling down. And then change direction. One more. Whew, I've got the yawn's bad today. Sorry about that. And we will come now to hands and knees. So these transitions are always a good time for a water break. So we'll do our cats and cows. And since we're doing the standing poses in isolation, you could also choose to do your cats and cows in isolation. We usually flow from one to the next in this big cycle, but a lot of teachers do them in isolation. So I'm just going to drop my head down and push my belly up for cat pose. And then just flip the spine. Inhaling, drop the belly, lift the head for cow pose. And I feel a stretch in the belly. Yeah. So again, you can go in circles like we usually do, or do these just focusing on the back. And traditionally, the breathing pattern is exhale for cat and inhale for cow. Take your time. Excuse me. And one more pair. All right, coming back to tabletop, we'll transition into thread the needle. So right hand down, left hand reaches for the sky with an inhale, and then exhale and come down to the floor. Hands palm to palm, top hand slides out, bringing your top elbow over your bottom hand, wrist, wherever. Big stretch, and then exhale that top arm around behind you. Hey, that's the first time I've gotten my right arm all the way around in a long time, since October. And now you can roll your left forearm on the floor. And bring that right arm around to the front, push up, inhale the left arm high, and exhale it down. And now the left hand supports and the right arm rises up. Oh, nearly vertical. And exhale down. Hands palm to palm, left hand slides out. Reach with that left arm. Letting your weight sink down onto your right shoulder, passively stretching it. And then with an exhale, wrap that left arm around behind you. Right forearm can roll on the floor. And then unwind the left arm, press against the mat, and inhale the right arm up again. Yeah, and exhale it down. Great. Next, we'll do kickstand. So let's extend the left leg first with a flexed ankle and roll your foot around. Maybe you hear your ankle crack. That's just some air escaping your joint. And then we'll swing the leg out to the side and come down into this supported position. Let your left leg relax and reach out toward your ankle. There are a couple variations you can take here, or just stay with me in the basic pose. Relax that left leg. That includes your foot. weight sink down into your pelvis. And now we're going to bring the hand up and lift and bring the knee back in and switch sides. So now extend the right leg, bend at the ankle, rotate your foot around, take it the other way. Hey, no snapping this time. That's nice. And then swing it out to your side and come down in a supported position with a relaxed right leg. Reaching for your ankle. Letting your head relax. If you don't like your head hanging, you can rest it on the block. And then hand back, lifting up, and knee back to center. Good job. Now we are ready for drunken cow. So hands and knees stay in your tabletop position, and we just swirl the body around. And this might be a little more difficult if you didn't do your cats and cows in circles. So be gentle with yourself. Take your time, enlarging, widening those circles. And then let's change direction. And then the next time your hips are pointed backwards, we'll pause here in child's pose, knees wide, arms long. And feel that swooping sensation from hands to hips, one big line formed by your arms and your back. And just let your body sag downwards like a piece of suspension bridge. And then we'll lever upwards and forwards, letting your hips sag down into up dog. And if this is rough on your low back, then come down to your elbows for Sphinx. Again, feel length in your back and a stretch in your belly. You can look over your shoulders to accentuate the stretch. All right, and let's come back up to tabletop. And from tabletop, we're going to come to a low squat, little squat. We're going to make our way slowly to standing, then do a few standing poses, and then a hamstring stretch at the end, because that's always so nice, especially if you've been gardening. So here we are in a low squat. You can be resting on your full foot or on the balls of your feet, whichever is easier for you, or maybe you want to challenge yourself and do the harder one. And you can sway side to side here. And if it's easy to have your hands palm to palm, ooh, you can put your knuckles together and get a little more stretch. And that threw me off balance. All right, so we're going to bring our hands down and slowly lift your hips up. Let your feet drop so they're flat on the mat, and we're hanging out here in forward fold. And if you don't like that hanging sensation, you can grab a block or something to rest your hands on. You can also grab your elbows and just sway. Let your back be upside down and weightless for just a moment. Relax the backs of your legs. You can keep a slight bend in the knees if you need that. And then we're going to engage the abs to protect your back and roll slowly up. Feel your abs lifting your torso. Taking your time. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders back. Nice. Okay. So we're just going to do a couple of standing poses, working on balance and leg strength more than anything else right now. So let's put all of your weight into your right leg. Feel your weight evenly spread throughout your right foot. And your hip is over here on the right, helping you keep your balance. And then we're going to slowly lift your knee up towards your chest. Place your fingers together around your shin and find yourself standing on one leg. So this is a knee up stretch for the low back. You can always just hold the knee with one hand and place the other hand against a wall or a piece of furniture. Feel your ankle wobbling and the strength that your muscles are building there. Hug that knee up as high as you can. Pull your shoulders back rather than forward. And then release and come down. Nice and gentle. Try not to fall or lose your balance. It's hard after a long day at work sometimes. All right, we'll do the same thing on the other side now. So all of your weight into your left leg, evenly distributed through your left foot. So the ball of the foot and the heel. Left hip is out a bit. And then nice and slow, lift your knee and wrap your hands around your shin. And again, you might just hold the right shin with the right hand and place your left hand against a wall or the top of the sofa or something like that. Again, try to open up your upper body, pulling the shoulders back, pushing the chest out, and pulling that knee up high. So this is a great stretch for the low back. And of course, a balance challenge. I'm having trouble with my balance right now. There we go. Breathe. It's amazing how much steady breath helps with balance as well. And release. Very nice. So shake things out, sway side to side. And now we'll do knees out. So let's start with the right foot again. All your weight on your right leg and right foot, evenly distributed. And we're going to lift the left knee as we did before, but just with your left hand on your left knee, open it out to the side. Your right hand can be also out to the side if that helps you balance. It can be placed on your heart if you don't want to think about it. So we've got the left knee out to our side. Standing tall, chest lifted, shoulders back and down. I feel my right ankle really working hard to hold me up. And I'm getting a stretch in the left hip area. Breathe. Steady, intentional breath. And then bring that knee back to center and release it down. Very nice. Shift things around a bit, shake it out, and we'll change sides. All right, all your weight now in the left leg and left foot, as evenly distributed as you can make it. So that means you might have to lean forward a bit. If there's way more weight in your heel, as I am right now, I lean forward just a bit. You can see a few degrees of change as I shift forward. And now my weight is more evenly distributed. And we're going to slowly lift up the right knee, take it in the right hand, and open it out to the side. Left leg is working hard. Right hip is getting a stretch. Breathe. Chest is open, shoulders are back. I just found my left hand really tense, so I'm letting it relax. Maybe you find that too, that you have a lot of tension in a part of your body that's not really doing much. You can let it relax. And then bring the knee back to center and release it down. Very nice. Wow. So yeah, we got some work there on the inner thighs. Very nice. Let's scoot out into a wide stance and give those a stretch. So you're just in a nice wide stance, just tilting your hips side to side, and that will stretch the opposite inner thigh. So my hips going left, I'm stretching my right inner thigh. Woo, feels really nice. One more set. All right, and now we'll come back to mountain pose, feet below your hips, and we'll do flamingo, which is part of our standing balance routine that we'll do on Saturday. So all the weight in your right leg and evenly distributed over your foot. So maybe leaning forward or back a bit to get that weight even up across your foot. And then we're going to lift your knee, but instead of stopping at the knee, we're going to take the hand all the way down your shin to your ankle and pull your foot behind you. And this is flamingo pose. It's going to stretch your left shoulder. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Yeah, because my left arm is being pulled back. So stretching the left shoulder, but also the main focus of this stretch is the left quad. So it doesn't really matter how close your heel is to your butt. Your goal is to push your knee downward, the left knee downward, and stretch your quad. And breathe. And of course, you can use your right hand for balance if needed. Intentional breath. Don't let it get too shallow or too fast. Control your breath. And gently release and come down with control. Good. We'll sway side to side a bit, shake things out, and switch sides. Okay, so all your weight in your left leg and left foot now. Standing straight and tall. You're going to lift the knee up slowly, and the right hand slides past your knee, down your shin, grabs your ankle, and pulls your foot behind you. And maybe you can scoot your hand up to your toes and pull your toes, kind of curl them inward. And it's a nice stretch for the top of your foot. And again, your hand can be out to your side, it can be on the wall, it can be on your heart, whatever works for you. You could do the ballerina thing. But our goal here is pushing your knee down, creating length in your right quad. And of course, building strength in the left leg. And release. Very nice. Okay, let's shake it out. And the last thing we'll do, we'll come down to the floor and do the hamstring stretch, so make your way down slowly. And you'll need a non-stretchy strap for this. I'll give you a minute if you need to grab that. This is a great stretch to do after gardening because we do a lot of bending over. So if we're standing up and bending over, the legs are taking a lot of the weight as our arms are doing other things. So your hamstrings can get really tired when you're gardening, spreading mulch, that kind of thing. So we're going to lie on the back. And we'll start with the left leg. So the right leg is just relaxed and neutral. And we've got the strap around the ball of the left foot, below the toes, above the arch. And hold that strap pretty high so that your arm is long and straight. Right leg is just relaxed. You can place your right hand on your right hip if you want. Relax your left ankle. That's the key to this pose. I've said it every time. Let your ankle relax, and that will bring more stretch to your calf. Let your upper body relax down. Right shoulder can be totally relaxed on the mat. Maybe your left shoulder is pulled off the mat. That's okay. So we're pulling that leg toward us, stretching the whole back of the leg, and now we're going to open out to the side. So taking the strap in your left hand, open out. Oof. Bringing your foot as close to the floor as is comfortable for you. Maybe you want to put a cushion or a block under that foot. If it doesn't quite reach the floor and it's kind of dangling and making you anxious, we don't want you anxious. Bring your foot to a place where you can relax that left leg. And yet you're going to keep pulling on the strap with your left hand. So the leg is long and relaxed, but also being pulled toward your head at the same time. And this, I'm really feeling this in the left hip flexor. Again, the right hand can be on the right hip to remind it, hey, relax, stay down. And then we're going to haul that leg back up, to the initial position. And maybe you notice, maybe comparing with something on the wall or the ceiling, that your foot is a little closer to your head than it was before. That's kind of the goal. And now we're going to switch hands. So take the strap as high as you can with your right arm stretched out all the way and roll it across your body. Again, aiming for the floor. But if you're not on the floor, maybe you want some support under your foot. Leg is long and relaxed and being pulled passively toward your face. And now I'm really getting a great stretch all throughout the left hip. And of course, the left hamstring. And you can look at the ceiling or you can look over your left shoulder, away from your foot, whatever is comfortable. This is a great stretch as well. We're doing a lot of things at the same time. Keep your ankle relaxed, keep the pressure on with the strap. One more big breath. And roll back to center. Hauling that leg up again to roughly vertical. Nice. Relax your ankle, and now we'll bend the knee and grab your foot with both hands, elbows out, and pull your foot towards your face. Your right leg is going to bend off the ground. That's perfectly fine. And release down. Wonderful. Yeah. So we're halfway there. We've stretched one side, and that feels great. So imagine it's going to feel even better when we're done. So here we go. Side two. Strap around the ball of the right foot, between the toes and the arch, over the bones, and the right arm fully extended, and right ankle relaxed. You heard the crack when I bent it back. Allow your upper body to sink down, and that weight will pull your leg just that little bit closer to you. Breathe. Try to relax your glutes. And now we're going to open out to the right. So bringing your foot down towards the floor, right arm is extended, right arm keeps the pressure on. And you can place your left hand on your left hip if that helps you stay grounded. And we just keep pulling that leg toward your face. Let it relax, let your arm do the work. Relax your glutes. And now pulling that leg back up to center, pull it in, maybe check your progress point on the wall or the ceiling, and now switch hands. Grab the strap with your left hand, fully extended arm, roll that leg across your body toward the floor. My back just cracked. That was nice. So leg is long, extended, relaxed. The hand is doing the work of holding the strap. The ankle is relaxed. And either look at the ceiling or over your shoulder. Letting your right hip get this great stretch all over. One more breath. And roll back to center. Pull that leg back. Yeah. And now bend your knee and grab your foot. Your arms go out. Elbows go out. And release. And this might be just the perfect Shavasana position for you. If it's too rough on your low back, then bring your knees up, your feet wide, and rest your knees inward against each other. That's a little easier on the low back. Arms flat, palms up. It's Shavasana time. Ooh, so just feel that relaxation emanating outwards from your pelvic area, the hips, the inner thighs, the glutes, the lower back. Let all of that just relax and soak in the benefit of what you just did. And moving up your torso, let your abs relax, sagging downward toward the floor. Let your backbone relax. From your tailbone up to the nape of your neck, let your spine be as soft as you're able to let it be. Maybe think of a pipe cleaner, just kind of fuzzy and flexible. Let your shoulders sink into the floor. Let your arms just rest heavy on the floor or the mat. Feel the upper arms, the elbows, the backs of your hands. Just sitting heavy on the mat, relaxed and supported. Back up to the shoulders and the back of the head. Let your head sink backward. And since your head and your shoulders are here supporting your neck can relax. So let your neck and throat go soft. And then your whole face, let your forehead and eyes, your jaw and mouth all be soft. And now back down to your legs. Let your thighs relax, your knees, your calves. Feel the weight of your heels sinking into the mat. And let your toes relax. Your whole body is just soft and supported. And your breath is flowing freely in and out. And now take a deep breath in through your limbs, all the way down to your fingers and toes. Let them wiggle their way back awake. And then bring in your wrists and ankles and neck. And then take whatever stretch that your body is craving. When you're ready, roll to one side. And then push up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Namaste.
You rock, Stephanie.